This video is a guide to Arena in Last Epoch without fluff and unnecessary bloat. So, let's begin. First things first, you may wonder how do you actually enter the arena. To do that, you need to get to Champions Gate, which is located here in the Divine Era. To locate this waypoint, you can simply right-click on the arena key, and this way the map will open automatically on the Champions Gate waypoint, so you don't have to look for it manually on the map. But the first time you want to get to Arena, you need to get to Champions Gate without teleporting to unlock access to the waypoint. Champions Gate is actually a nice town-like hub with training dummies that you can use to test your character's DPS. And the next questions that we will answer are: what is the Arena and how it actually plays? See, Arena is a type of endgame activity. It is what you would expect it to be. A confined area where waves of mobs spawn one after another. There are different layouts for arenas with different visual themes, but they all essentially play out in the same way. There are 4 portals located on the map from which mobs will spawn. Upon entering the arena map, shrines may spawn at the edge of the arena, so it's generally a good idea to move a bit from the center at the start to see if there are any shrines that you can use. Some arenas have also environmental hazards in the middle of the map, and as you progress through the arena, the mobs will have higher level, health and damage. Every 5th wave, few barrels will spawn in the map that you can destroy for loot. Keep an eye for them as you may miss them like I did at the beginning. If you click to proceed, you lose access to unopened barrels. At this moment also stash and shop NPC become available, so you can store items to avoid full inventory. Plus, if you are playing with other players who died during your run, they can respawn during this break after every 5th wave. And once you complete 10 waves, you get to move on to the next arena map. Now, here is where the differences begin with 2 different types of arenas. We have Arena of Champions, which is fixed 40 waves of enemies. In Arena of Champions, you get to choose modifiers to loot, enemies' damage and their health after every 10 waves. And so, since this arena type has 40 waves of enemies, you get to choose 3 modifiers at the 10th, 20th and the 30th wave. After 40th wave, a boss of the arena will spawn. Currently, there are 3 types of champions: Sentinel, Rogue and Primalist-like champion. You need to kill the champion to complete the arena, which will reward you with loot and unlock higher difficulty tier of the Arena of Champions. And then we have the second type of arena available in Last Epoch, which is Endless Arena. This arena is what you would expect based on the name. Hypothetically, endless amount of waves of enemies. After 90 waves, you face one of Arena's champions. There are also 2 types of arena keys, and so you may wonder, what the hell is the difference between them? The normal arena key can be used to access either arena type. The arena key of memory is useful only for Endless Arena, as it allows you to start either from wave 100 or the highest wave you have reached divided by half, rounded to 10. So for example, if before you have reached wave 215th, Arena Key of Memory will allow you to start at 110th wave. Do note that you can use Arena Key of Memory also for Arena of Champions at any tier, but it does not do anything in this arena type. And since the Arena Key of Memory is far less common drop, using it for Arena of Champions is generally a waste of key. So, is Arena rewarding activity in Last Epoch? Sadly, no, not really. The loot rewards are rather underwhelming. The amount of useful loot you get is really low. Considering the time it takes to get the loot, you are far better off running monoliths or dungeons on high tier. The design of enemies and arenas also lead to often slow and boring experience. Sometimes enemies will spawn quickly and reach you in no time, making Arena feeling like a dynamic and fast-paced experience. But unfortunately you will also get spawns of enemies that are painfully slow. The biggest offenders here are drowned husks. I hate these guys, they take ages to move anywhere. And so you will have unpleasant amount of downtime in arenas. I also don't understand why arenas are so damn big. It would be awesome actually if all arena maps were as concise as the Arena's Champions maps. Like the one you can see right now on the screen. It's small, neat, and it takes really no time to get through 10 waves of enemies. Arenas give decent amount of experience, but unfortunately the time it takes to complete them is just way too long to make them an efficient way of leveling your character. And so the only reasons to visit Arena are: first, changing the pace. If you get tired of running monoliths over and over again, perhaps jumping into Arena for a moment might be a breath of fresh air. And then you can also use it to test your build. Since Arena has endless mode with scaling difficulty, it is a good place to test how strong your character build actually is. Plus, online Arena mode has leaderboards where players with highest wave clear can make their name in Last Epoch community. So it adds this competitive nature to the game. And the last reason to run arenas are the unique loot drops. There are 3 unique items, which you can see right now on the screen, that are obtainable only through the arena. Keep in mind that each one of them is obtainable from specific arena champion. And lastly, I will share with you my final tips for playing arena. First tip: constantly keep moving. There's a lot of visual clutter in Last Epoch, especially with more flashy character builds. Sometimes you will simply not see the AoE highlights of enemy attacks when a lot of things are happening on the screen. To avoid dying from such attacks that you cannot see, you can constantly keep moving around to make your character really hard target to hit. Also, remember to open the barrels with loot and collect it every 5th wave before proceeding so that you don't lose access to it. Furthermore, make sure to check for shrines and use them strategically. Remember that you can stack the buffs from the shrines. So for instance, if I see a lot of shrines available, like 4 of them, then I pick bonuses from 2 of them at the start of the map and leave 2 for the 6th wave on that map onwards. Tip number 4. Keep your character somewhere close to the center to avoid long idle time, waiting for enemies to slowly crawl from a portal located on the other side of the map. Next, don't use Arena Key of Memory on Arena of Champions, since that key type is less common and does not benefit this arena type whatsoever. And the last tip: learn the enemies. Some enemies are particularly dangerous and have really hard hitting attacks. With time, you will learn which enemies to nuke with burst skills or to use defensive cooldowns against. Pay attention and remember enemies who killed you for future runs. So, that pretty much wraps up this Last Epoch guide to arenas. You will of course also encounter the arena nodes while progressing through monoliths. And even for these nodes, some of the tips here are also applicable. I hope you found this video useful. I plan to continue making videos for Last Epoch since I really enjoy the game. And so I am curious to know, what guides and content would you like to see? Anything particular that you are struggling with in the game? Let me know in the comments section below. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.